Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. A brand new video that I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to be making, ladies and gentlemen. That isn't a game of football that I want to go back through and break down and discuss, which probably tells you everything you need to know about the game that finished Sparta Prague 1. Rangers now. And you know what's really frustrating, ladies and gentlemen? If we're just being honest with each other, me and thee right now, we are actually very, very lucky tonight that we are only sitting here talking about a 1-0 loss to Sparta Prague, because that game of football right there was a 3, 4, 5-0 game of football every day of the week, with the amount of chances that they created and the amount of times that mcgregor had to put us on his shoulders and bail us out time after time after time with fantastic save after save. Genuinely, he kept this for being a cricket score the night and kept the scoreline respectable. But what wasn't respectable, ladies and gentlemen, was that performance, because genuinely it was shocking. And listen, I know we are missing so many first team players, and I know the defensive situation that we find ourselves in, where we have one fit centre back at the football club. One fit centre back at the football club, which meant that we had to play a young laddie who's got 1 year of professional football under his belt, and that has been the backup left back position. We had to put Calvin Bassey as the left centre back in this game, right? And I know for a fact that no matter who we played tonight, we were probably always going to concede. And Sparta Prague are a good side to score goals for fun, as we've mentioned in yesterday's video. They've only blanked twice all season long. They usually find a way to put the ball in the back of net. But moving the defence to one side right now, which was always going to be a shambles, right? Let's just move that to one side. And let's look at the midfield and let's look at the attack, because we always sit here and talk about the strength and depth. Well, it's about time, ladies and gentlemen, that the depth starts showing some freaking strength and step up when they're given an opportunity to play. And I'm looking at this midfield and I'm looking at the engine room, and again, I'm just not seeing enough, man. I'm not seeing any creativity. I'm not seeing any drive at all. I mean, Stephen Davis was having a 1v1 long shooty battle with the corner flag the night, because he passed more times to the corner flag than he did to Rangers players. And I absolutely hate that I say that, because you know how much I love that laddie, and I almost want to slap myself for even saying anything negative about him. But I have to sit here and call it as I see it, and I'm seeing none for the engine room at all. I'm seeing long balls constantly fired into the corner flag for absolutely no reason, over and over again. It's like watching Kamara come to Ibrox. That's what we have devolved into, from the team who went ahead, played with their chest out, played football the right way, they went undefeated in the group stages last season, topping it, to right now where we're just punting long balls in the corner over and over and over again. I'm just needing a hell of a lot more than what I'm getting right now, because I'm not seeing the quality, I'm not seeing the flair, I'm not seeing the technical ability of the players that we know what we've got. Everyone's just floating about, playing like they're lagging, and I just don't understand it, how it continues to trickle and trickle and trickle into another game of football where, again, we made Sparta Prague look like they were prime Barcelona when they had Xavi and Iniesta and Messi and David Villa and everything like that. Genuinely, we made them look that good tonight, because we'd literally sitting there chasing shadows 15 yards off the pace, 15 yards off putting a fit in, and just let them do. Because any player will look world class, ladies and gentlemen, if you keep giving them 15 yards a space. All the intensity and everything we've came to expect from this Rangers team continues to be void from this Rangers team, and I just didn't understand it, and I just didn't get it. It's so poor, ladies and gentlemen. I hate feeling like this, and I hate having to say this, but I just need to tell you what I've seen, and what I've seen is a game of football void of quality, apart from the last 5 minutes of the game where we half looked like the team we could potentially be. But I just need to ask, where's the high pressing? Where's the putting pressure? Where's chasing the ball back? Where's attacking when you've no got the football? Mind all these key words that we kept hearing last season. Where are they, man? But aye, let's get into the game of football then, and let's talk about the starting 11 that I think we all had the exact same reaction. We all went, well, this is going to be interesting, because obviously Morelos was dropped out of this squad. We had Bacuna making his first start ahead of Hadji, which was a little bit surprised. I've been wanting Bacuna to start. I wouldn't have really started them in this game of football, especially with the way that the rest of the team actually looked. But again, in hindsight, it's wonderful and everything like that. You can make what you want. But I was very nervous when I saw the starting 11. I think everybody could see that with what I tweeted out and everything like that. I was like, well, this is going to be spicy. I was expecting a basketball game with very little defending, and that's what I got from Rangers, but I saw solid enough defending, and again, the lack of quality going forward, it definitely helped Sparta Prague in terms of the game. But right off the bat, the first couple of chances in the game was all Sparta Prague. mcgregor made a phenomenal save in the 9th minute of this match. Really, really good, where again, it's one pass, it's one switchy play from one side of the park to the other that catches us out. We've got no midfielder tracking back. We've got no midfielder dropping in. We've got 50 yards of space between our centre back and our full back. It's the same thing I've had to sit here and say many times. We're not adjusting. We're not changing nothing. We're not doing nothing. We're not tweaking nothing. It's the same simple wee pass in there that gives them a lot of space. It eventually cuts in. A wee bit of a breakdown in communication for Sparta Prague, but eventually they unleash a shot and it's fantastically tipped over the bar by Alan McGregor. But that was the first of what will be many warning signs in this game. Speaking of warning signs, by the way, we actually gave one to Sparta Prague where we actually played the ball on the ground to Kamara. I know it's a crazy thing because he's known for his aerial prowess, but we actually play it to his feet and that allows him to use his ability and everything that he's good at to combine with Joe Aribo. Joe Aribo then slides a delicious ball on the ground, again, to Fashion Sakala, who burns the defender for pace, but he is very wide right. I mean, the angle's always going to be beneficial to the goalkeeper, but at least we got a shot off, and that was one of our few shots on target. I went, right, well, that's what we can do when we zip the ball on the ground, when we are fast and we really get the ball down. We get Kamaruf and Aribo doing what they can do when the ball's at the ground. We can offer a bit of a counter-attack, but the best thing you can give to Sparta Prague is after that opportunity for us, they fixed that right away. They dropped 5-10 yards away for Sakala, didn't give him that much room. They learned for their mistake. They tweaked it during the game. We never, ladies and gentlemen, because 10 minutes after that, around about the 22nd minute, there was another major opportunity where, again, it's a simple switch of the play that eventually goes down the side, which again takes advantage of the massive gaps and the lackey tracking from the midfield. But this one ends up being a pretty comfortable save for Alan McGregor with his feet. I'm always expecting McGregor to make this save, but again, he was big when we needed him, and he gets that. Big McGregor paw at it, and he gets it cleared. So again, we live to fight another day. How do we respond? We didn't. Because 5 minutes later, ladies and gentlemen, Sparta Prague take the lead in the game, and the way that the day is honestly going to keep me up all night, genuinely, because it's a corner. We know we're kind of struggling defensively from set pieces. I mean, we've only got one centre back with one player able to header the football. That was quite evident with the amount of times that Bassi whiffed it, Tavernier whiffed it, and Barisic whiffed it in the air. Without Connor Golton being that aerial threat, we have very little back there. But anyway, from the set piece, for whatever reason, we take Stephen Davis. And honestly, this was my reaction when I saw it happening live. And I'm telling you the truth, when I saw this, when I saw Stephen Davis not go to the back post, I sat back and went, oh no. I promise you that was my reaction as I saw Stephen Davis not be on that back post. A position that he stopped, what, 6-7 potential goals last season. I'm thinking 2 versus Celtic on itself. I'm thinking the one late on Livingston. I'm thinking 1 in the first half versus St Mirren, and the 1 versus Kilmarnock as well, which I think was at Rugby Park as well when he headed it up and over. This is a guy who's been brilliant in that role and helps out Alan McGregor, and it worked perfectly last season. But again, something I've talked about already numerous times is all these tactical changes for set pieces, trying all this fancy stuff and trying all these weird zonal, I'll do 2 zonal, then 3-man marking. All this malarkey is just too much. Sometimes the old classics is better, ladies and gentlemen, and Sunday League score it right. You put someone on the post and he helps the goalkeeper out, but Stephen Davis isn't on the front post. Why? I don't know. Maybe expected goals nonsense, but he isn't there. He's at the front post, and what happens? It's a flick on to the back post. It ends up hitting the post and going into the back of net. And again, we play a pivotal role in conceding and letting a goal in, which is something I talked about yesterday. We need to stop doing. We need to cut out all these silly individual errors. Listen, it's a good header and it's a good flick on by Sparta Prague, but in my opinion, we've played our part in conceding yet another stupid goal when the obvious thing is there is to have Stephen Davis where he's effective. And that's at the back post. It is worth noting as well, by the way, Calvin Bassey is far too easily beaten to the header, and that's who gets beat for the flicked on header. But again, I'm not expecting much for him. We've talked about how poor he is in the air. That's probably why you need someone in the post when you've got someone with the inability to header the ball and you've only got one player to header it. Aye, but as you may tell, my OCD's gone mental right now, ladies and gentlemen, right? Because I'm older now, I'm crabbit, I see something like that and I just think, back in my day, you put someone on the frickin' post. And by the way, I just want to say, now that we've actually seen what the defensive line looks like without Connor Goldson's in there, without his leadership, his vocal ability, and making sure everybody's in the line, I think everyone can now agree that we never ever want to see it again, and we didn't realise what we've got until it's gone, because Goldson's been poor this season, but when you take his leadership away and his aerial threat both defensively and attacking wise, we at the back are absolutely shambolic. Now, I'd love to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, with the last 7 minutes of the half that we offered something going forward and we really pushed and done anything, but no, there was not one highlight, one attacking bit of play, one almost, one maybe for the last 7 minutes of the first half. We go into half time and I'm sitting back going, that was the worst half of football I've seen from Rangers in a very, very long time. What I didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, what followed with the second half would then be the worst half of football I've seen from Rangers in a very short amount of time, but it's the worst I've seen maybe since the 1-0 loss to Hamilton. Genuinely, that second half performance for Rangers was stinking, and I think that's backed up with how the second half started. Did we come out with a fire in our belly looking to set things right? No, I mean, Sparta Prague was in 1v1 in 62 seconds of the restart. How does that happen, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I'll tell you. The midfield not able to win a challenge. Stephen Davis gets pushed away to the side. He tries to get stuck into the boy. The guy just absolutely manhandles him. Tavernier tries to get involved in it. He gets manhandled. The ball goes back the way, and then it's a simple through ball, and the ball goes 1v1, and you're thinking to yourself, right, McGregor, please have your moment, son. We need you. And then you see the run for the Sparta Prague boy who's ran there, and you're thinking, they're going to just sweat it and make this 2-0. And to be fair to the boy, he was very, very unselfish. He looked dead in the eyes of Alan McGregor. He then passed it for the tap-in, but the boy thankfully hit the bar and we live to fight another day. And you think to yourself, right, the restart's just happened. You can have a mistake like that. Well, less than 35 seconds after them hitting the bar and being through 1v1, they were doing it again, ladies and gentlemen. Stop me if you've heard this before. Davis kind of loses the individual battle here again. Bassey is coming over far too much. Balogun's in no man's land at this point. He tries to get stuck in. He loses it. It's another through ball in behind. Far, far too easy. But thankfully this time the boy ends up hitting it wide on his left foot after Bassey does good, to be fair, to recover, get his speed back and put pressure on him. But that's them going through twice in the opening 2 minutes of the restart. And that feeling of what's going on happened 10 minutes later, where once again they forced Alan McGregor into a fantastic save with his feet just carving us open. The midfield, just passengers, everyone running by them. It was really, really infuriating to watch. But my anger, what was happening with the level of performance, only got worse when I saw Glen Kamara get a second yellow card in this game, because this right here is absolutely shambolic, especially when you've got VAR. And people will say, aye, but VAR can't look at a second yellow card. Why no? Why can they no look at a second yellow card when the boy's not even touched them? Glen Kamara's he's jumped up for a header, he's no touched them, the boy holds his face like this, the referee buys it and he sends Glen Kamara off after, let's be honest here, with what that crowd was doing. And I was saving this for the end of today's video because I didn't want to talk about this and then try and talk about football, because this matters more than football. But to send that laddie off for no making a foul when he is the subject of that booing and the abuse he was getting for the crowd is genuinely shambolic. And again, when you've got these VAR stuff and everything that looks, if your shot line's offside by 1.2, 0.3, 0.4 millimetres or anything like that, but they can't say to the referee, hey mate, you shouldn't have gave that guy a second yellow card because he's no touched him. That's bollocks and red tape, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care if it's real. It's absolutely stupid and it's devastating for Glen Kamara. You saw his reaction. The crowd, honestly, it just makes my heart bleed, man. Like, genuinely makes me feel sick. And I was trying to save all this to the end of the video, but I want to just get it out now. That crowd tonight was absolutely disgusting, and I couldn't care less if it's just kids, ladies and gentlemen. Where do you think they're learning all that abuse from? Yeah? Where do you think they're learning it from? That's weird, that. It's almost like Sparta Prague ahead of this game lost the right to host fans in the stadium because of racist abuse to black players, because of a black player that plays for Monaco scored against them, so they done racist abuse. It was almost like UEFA banned the adults and everything like that from the game, but then instead of actually punishing racism, they went, well, 10,000 kids, your kids can come along. Aye, come in then, let's do it that way. Let's give you a once in a lifetime experience because you deserve it, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is honestly just disgusting, man. You saw the abuse that Glen Kamara got. I mean, they booed every black player that we had on the park, but you'll be lying to yourself if you didn't hear it worse for Glen Kamara. And again, that is absolutely shambolic. And I've seen like the Motherwell CEO or whatever tweeting out. I've seen a lot of people, and Curry was shouting out on BT and everything like that, and really gone after it. So shout out to them as well for speaking up. But something needs to be done now, ladies and gentlemen. That's absolutely disgusting that this is coming from kids. Just let that sink in, man. Does that not absolutely sicken you to every fibre of your being? UEFA needs to look at themselves, because what they've done with this wee experiment is absolutely backfired, and it's a shambles. But back to the football and the stuff that really doesn't matter in the context of what was actually happening in that game of football, because trust me, it was ugly on the park, but it was even uglier off the park. And honestly, I'm just sitting here absolutely scunnered, because I'm supposed to be sitting here doing jokes and having fun and everything, but when I'm seeing that level of abuse, man, it's like, what do you even talk about? Like, what's the point of talking about this game of football? But again, a lot smarter people than me need to step up and talk about this and bring it to light, and hopefully they can do that, because something needs to be done. But to wrap up the actual game recap, after the red card for Rangers, which was obviously the second yellow card, the game kind of broke down a little bit. I mean, Lundstrom came on, and to be fair to the laddie, I think he offered a lot more, and I'm not taking anything away from Stephen Davis or that, but you know what, Lundstrom, he's got power, he's got bite, he's not going to get bullied in the middle of the park. Stephen Davis is at this stage now, especially in the European stages, people are bossing him and moving him out the way. I didn't want to be saying it, but I need to say it, ladies and gentlemen. Lundstrom was good when he came on. I thought he added a wee bit of bite, he started putting himself about. Morelos had came on 5-10 minutes before that, by the way, but he wasn't really in the game because we created absolutely nothing. But the last 5 minutes comes and everything like that, and then Sparta Prague have another opportunity where they break away, because we're piling everybody forward at this point. They break away down the left hand side, they cross it in, but the diving effort is just, I think, just a little bit wide from there. I think it was high and a little bit wide, but it was a good effort for the boy that was sliding in to get it on target. And then late on the game, Tavernier does a good run where it gets in behind, whips it in. No one's at the right place. 5 Rangers players have made the same back post run. Nobody's thought, maybe I should go front post. They all went the same post, and then again we have a couple of very dangerous crosses. But that was it, ladies and gentlemen. There's not really a massive highlight in this game of football, apart from maybe a Balogun header that would have been offside because Sakala's standing in front of the goalkeeper. It was so poor, miles off it, and that's all I've really got to say about it. From every aspect, every bit of play, from the build up to the attack, to the engine room, to the tackling, to the attacking, it was absolutely shocking. Right, the only player that could leave with his head held high was Alan McGregor in terms of footballing performance, because he was brilliant. And again, he stopped this from being an embarrassing scoreline, but to me, that was an embarrassing performance, and I didn't like saying that, and I hope I'm not sitting here saying that again anytime soon. But that's me all done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry it's not a happier video or anything like that. I've just got to tell you what I saw, and what I saw was ugly on the park, and what I saw off the park was genuinely absolutely disgusting. But what is your thoughts and opinions on the game of football? Make sure you let me know down there in the old comment section below. But until next time, take care of yourselves, all the best, and bye-bye.